Yeah?
All right, guys. Why isn't everybody so far away? Come on in a little bit. So this is a very, very special day because to have, I think we have 47 guests that have come in from around the world, and from America, Canada, Belgium, Guernsey, England, and I've missed anyone, sorry. But you know, for all of these guys to come in from so far around the world to be part of, well, I know initially you came here for this tour, but now part of the factory opening, and you guys are fans of Emerald Guitars, and we just feel really privileged to have people in our community that connect with us to that degree. And when we knew you were all coming over, we thought, well, this is the perfect opportunity to do an official opening of the factory. And we've been building guitars in here. I guess we've been in the building now for about 2 years, actually building guitars. Previous to that, we were doing everything in the small building down here. And while we were in there building, where we had Damien and Barry working hard around the sides, as well as the others finishing off the factory. And the last big thing that we wanted to get done was the entrance hall and the gallery, and then we managed to get that finished. So we're now really, I suppose, it's doing a factory open, and it's just saying we're open to the public. You know, we've been here building guitars, and it hasn't really been a space that we've you know, felt that we wanted to invite people into because we've had so much still to do. But this is the day where we say, you know, Emerald Guitars is here. It's open to the public. We have a beautiful gallery space. We're going to be doing factory tours, and we're excited to share that with people. But the really important thing as well is not to just mark my achievements, but to mark the achievements of all of the team. You know, we have all our staff towards the back here in the great t-shirts who build the beautiful guitars that you guys play, and have been part of not just building the guitars, but the creative process behind designing them, and designing the building and everything we've got here. We've got the family here as well, and you know, it's so much more than just me involved in that. You know, it's there's a lot of people that have made this possible, and we'll maybe come back to paying tribute just to the family. But one of the most important people in all of this is my dad, and he's the guy who, when I was probably about 4 or 5 years of age, instead of buying me toys, bought me tools. And I can remember he set up a little workshop for me in our house in Peasla. And you know, I'm not sure what I made there, but I, you know, used to bang nails into pieces of wood, and you know, but I had a workshop. So so that's, I just learned how to make things from him. And my dad built this factory here, and so he's the guy that gets to reopen it and cut the ribbon today. So I thought that was the perfect fit. But he's going to tell you a few words, and really, it's all about how you take a challenge and turn it into an opportunity. And our first challenge, well, not the first challenge, but one of the challenges was when my dad bought a boat and it sank, and that started a journey that has taken us to here. So maybe my dad will tell you a little bit about that.
Yes, it sounds like a bad start, and the boat went down. We moved here to live. We bought this house that Alistair now lives in 1983. Well, it'd be 41 years ago. And this was just a little field where we thought we could maybe keep a pony. But I bought a sailing boat that was anchored in the water down at the mouth of Loch Swally. When I went down to see it a few days later, and the tide was in, all I could see was the top of the mast. So I went back when the tide was out to see what was wrong, and I went down and sat on top of the anchor. I asked around down there what should I do to fix the boat, and they said you need to get some fiberglass. I had never worked with fiberglass before that. So we got fiberglass, we got the boat fixed. And then my sister asked me, seeing as I was working with fiberglass, could I make a slide for her son, my nephew. He was just a little boy. And so I said, I'll make a mold and I'll make one with fiberglass. And I did that, and then as a hobby I was building children's outdoor toys until my job in a local farm machinery company ended, and then I went full time into making Kestrel toys. That was our brand name at that time. And there came a time, initially we built the toys, and what is now the Thatch Cottage over there. That was our first place, and we made a lot of stuff there. And then we decided we could build a factory. At least put up the 4 walls and the roof. We couldn't afford much more than the 4 walls and the roof, but we got that. And so we continued on there. That business was quite successful for a good few years until there was a downturn in the economy. And also there was a lot of stuff coming in from China that was so low priced that we eventually decided to give that up. At that stage, Alistair had started experimenting on making these guitars with carbon fibre. But the first one he made it in fiberglass just to test the mold, and I can remember him bringing it to me in the office to show it to me, and I said, well, it looked like a guitar, and it needed a bit of refinement, and so we continued on from that. And you know, one of the things about Alistair, he was very determined. It was a long process to get it perfected. And I have to admit, there was times when I said to him, do you not think maybe you should get a real job? But he had a vision, and he stuck with it. And that's where we got to where we are now.
So yeah, it's from those early starts of, I can remember that sailing boat, and I can remember Dad learning about fiberglass, and we built some boats back then out of fiberglass as well. And you know, as most of you probably know, I went off then and spent some time in St. Louis in the States, building Formula One racing boats, and over there I was lucky enough to meet Bill Seabold, who was still holds the record as the most winning powerboat driver of all time. And he took me under his wing, and he didn't just teach me how to work with carbon fiber, he taught me how to do something really special. And it was just the inspiration of being in an environment where he was absolutely at the top of his game, and that just inspired me so much. So I came back to Ireland, and that's when I really thought I want to do something really different and really special. So that started that fire. And so I have to pay tribute to Bill Seabold for starting something and setting some inspiration. And not long after that, and I built that first guitar that is up in my office. You can probably see it up through the window. I think it's sitting in front of the window right there. And I took, I think not that one, but the second one I took to Fitz, standing over here in the end. And Fitz is a very fine guitar maker. built some beautiful instruments, and Fitz looked at it and shook his head and was tried to find words of encouragement. And I think he maybe said there's potential. So that was all I needed. So Fitz has been part of our story ever since, and I bring finished guitars and bring them to Fitz just to get that nod of there's potential. And when you get a compliment from Fitz, you're doing well. So yeah, but he encouraged me to keep on going, and I'm very, very grateful for the encouragement and wisdom from Fitz. I see some friends there that have helped me over the years. In those times where it's really too tough to carry on, there was a couple of people in particular that I would call on, and normally by the time they would drop everything to come and reach me, I had kind of was in a better place. But knowing that I had two friends that would just drop anything and come to me was nearly enough. So big thanks to Paul and Sam. And Brownies from Ramona that sustains everything. And I see we've got Thomas Nordig, and Thomas Nordig's here, and Thomas has. And Thomas is trying to say, be humble, just don't say anything. And Thomas is the most humble guy, but Thomas is, I met him just after I built the ultra guitar for Steve Vai. And again, he's been a seam right through our story. And has encouraged me, inspired me, has helped me. And it's a real privilege to have Thomas here as our guest of honor on this trip. But the other side of it is family, because whenever you're designing and dreaming and making your life's work, sometimes other things have to suffer, and undoubtedly it impacted on our family life. And my kids that are here, and Dylan, who's not here today, and hopefully watching online, they'll definitely testify to the fact that there was a lot of nights they didn't see me. And there was working a lot of those 16 and 18-hour days that we had to do just to survive and to bring this to where it is. And and so they put up with a lot, and and give plenty back in return, both good and bad. And Kim, who obviously kept everything together. So when I was up here, she was doing everything else that I wasn't doing. And I definitely could not have done this without Kim's support and inspiration and encouragement. And I think we often said that, on the times where I would get to the stage where I just couldn't go on anymore, she would be the person that would pull me up and just get me to the next day. And when she couldn't go on anymore, I would pull her and we'd get to the next day. And it was just get to the next day. And we've got the next day for 25 years, and here we are. And finally, to grandparents that that helped us look after kids, and in many other ways while we were off, delivering guitars around the world. Those struggles of having to deliver a guitar to California in the wintertime and things like that. Those tough trips. So they helped us with that so much. But to the guys that are here, to our Emerald customers that are here, and our Emerald customers and our fans that are watching online, really it is my privilege to be able to build these guitars. As I was talking to Thomas driving up from the airport, to sell one guitar is an achievement. To sell one single guitar means that somebody has chosen your guitar over any others in the world. To sell 10,000 guitars is huge, and that's the milestone that we've now reached. And we feel incredibly privileged to be able to do this. We feel so inspired by you guys and the music that you create in our guitars, and we are so excited to show you inside. So I think it's time to cut the ribbon, and then I'll maybe tell you a couple of words on what we're going to do then inside, or maybe we'll do that first. So inside we're going to take you on factory tours, and I'm going to try and do it in two groups. It's going to be tight, but I'm going to try and do it in two groups. So we'll I think we have about 60 people here, so we'll maybe whoever wants to be in the first group, come and find me. We'll do that and go straight on that first factory tour. And while we're doing the factory tour, then the rest of you guys can go into the gallery and the players' room and try the guitars and experience them and hang out and have fun. So and then we're going to be later on. We're going to be having lunch down in the apartment, music in the cottage, and it's going to be a great day. So thank you.
Just to say that there was a space between the time when we stopped using this for building kestrel toys and when Alistair moved into this factory. And there was a time when the place was empty and it looked very sad and forlorn and depressing when I came to visit at the time. Excuse me. But it means a lot to me now that we're opening this brand new place that seems so new and good. And we're just so blessed to be doing it. So we're going to cut this one.
So guys, I guess come on in. See out there? That's how good I am.